But why do you think people are sometimes very harsh on
Well,
female
this is
leaders?
just society's general problem. But I'm just saying that here, for the first time in so many years, you have a female leadership that has gone beyond anything, not just leading at the national level, but even at the International Olympic Committee, where a country that has never even won a gold medal has a member sitting. So I think I just wanted to add that, and it's something worth celebrating, even
But
after.
her time in office also is when we saw also two AGMs very difficult to pass a resolution. I mean, what would you say to that?
Yes, but that is not the fault of the person chairing the meeting. That is perhaps the fault of people attending the meeting. So I was there, and like I said, there is no problem that Gambians cannot solve if they sit and discuss issues diplomatically. But there is an issue if you have a disruptive attitude to approach problems. Then obviously you will have this cycle of meetings being cancelled and things like that. When you come to a meeting, you commit to discuss and find a solution in a diplomatic way. There will always be challenges. Even when Jagana becomes president, there will be challenges.
Yeah.
But you sit down and in a civilized way, you discuss the challenges, you find the issues, and you move forward. But you
But
don't.
couldn't that been something that should have been avoidable? Because the first one, there was only an issue with some of the items on the agenda, back and forth, more than 5 hours in December. It couldn't hold. Of course, in March, another one took place before the All Africa game. The same thing happened, and before the final one, which was
That's my point. I was there myself, and that's my point.
yeah,
I'm saying, if two people enter a room to negotiate in good faith, the commitment is we come out of here with a solution. If you come in with bad faith, no matter how much effort I make, that you are not out there for a solution. That's my point. So when you enter with a good faith to reach a solution, you compromise. Because if you enter into a negotiation and say, I will leave this with only my position, you're not negotiating. That you are there to make sure things don't move forward. So, but I mean, we cannot discuss all the facts here, but I'm just saying that we should always act in good faith because it is in the interest of Gambian sport,
so
especially on an Olympic year. But on your question of infrastructure,
yeah.
I think, like we are saying, this is why if you look at our team, one of the issues we are discussing is to bring in the private sector now, and also to partner with government to actually build the infrastructure. Some sports are indoor sports. Some sports have a natural advantage. You can play football just outside your street, post window, anything like that. You can do that, but you cannot swim. You cannot do that. You cannot play badminton in the street. So when you have certain facilities that require indoor sports, cycling, for example, all of these things, you need to build the infrastructure. And this is why in the manifesto, we recognize that might be Gambians who are in countries where they have certain infrastructure. We can tap onto that as a transition whilst we try to build our own infrastructure here. There's a lot of effort by the government to renovate certain facilities, but I think it's something that has to be a partnership.
What an indoor court. The
Yes,
whole country did not have an indoor
yeah,
court
but this is
where
why.
multi-facet
Yes.
sports can be used. I
Yes.
mean,
So this is
you
why
know,
in our manifesto we mentioned good governance. That
yeah.
is, good governance is also about engaging partners to discuss what the solutions are. It is not for the uh, one party alone to do exactly what you're asking for. And this is exactly also when you ask about somebody in sports. A lot of people might not also know that I am in sports, but sports is, as Mr. Jagana is saying, requires administration, marketing,
But
all of these things.
this brings me to the question in the role of the media. Yes, the media need to, as we know, honestly, most of our colleagues are focused on football.
Yeah,
But again, also the other sports as well is
yeah.
something that they find challenges with because one is understanding, two is also maybe perhaps the associations don't reach out to them maybe, and also maybe perhaps where the sport is being played is not also being known to many. That could also be a factor. For example, some of these things that need to be done. Promotion start from your own backyard. You should have your social media handles. You should have other stuffs. you should promote the game in your own way. Well, journalists, have no excuse, but again,
No, 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 no. I totally agree with you,
yeah.
and I
So
know Mr. Jagana can also comment. But if you read our manifesto, diversity and inclusion is
mm,
part of it.
mm.
But you see, the reality is that because there is no funding in sports, if you look at all the associations, myself, my
there's
association,
there's no funding in other sports.
I mean, in all sports, well, I think football has an advantage, but
Well,
yes, but I'm saying, what the reality I'm saying is most of these other sports, people are volunteering their time and also their own funds. If you look at the structure, in fact, many of them, we don't even have headquarters. Or if you want to come and visit me, we'll arrange to meet somewhere. It's the same in many other sports. But the problem is because most of the people doing this administration are also volunteering because they are doing so many other things. So it's a challenge across the board. And that's why we said good governance as a first step is to try to build capacity across the board to see how, because it's no longer just about volunteering. You have athletes who are playing under you who have to make a career out of sports. You see what I mean? So you have to be able to market, as you rightly say, all the things you said, invite the media. To be fair, I think most of the associations, when they have events, the media comes.
Mhm.
We reach out to you, and sometimes the media also use their own resources to come and
Yeah,
cover for free
definitely.
because we cannot even afford sometimes to reimburse you.
Mm.
So I think it's a partnership. There is general problem, but we are all trying to get there together.
All right. So, Mr. Jagana, the yes, Mr. Jagana, let's. You want to add something to that?
No, as part of good governance, better sports, what we have there is summarized. But what we'll do is we'll do what we have done at the Chamber of Commerce when I was president. At least once a year, we have what we call Meet the Press. It's basically an open session whereby we'll meet the press, update them on our activities, the challenges, and our missions. And I think what we would do here, once we get the mandate approved, is to have an annual session with the press whereby all associations will be brought under one roof to come and update the journalists about what their activities are.
Mm.
Not only the GNOC, it's not going to be compulsory, but we'll provide the space and the environment for associations to come and meet the journalists and the press and update them on their activities. And I think that would also help you guys better understand.
All right. So,
Just coming back on the AGM, as treasurer,
yeah.
unfortunately, I do agree with you. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, I remember interviewing you. One of the quotes you used, your hands were tied
Yes,
after the failed AGM twice.
yes. And unfortunately, because of that failed AGM, there was a political agenda driving it, not wanting to solve it. And that political agenda was driven by Dudu and his team, and
Mm.
it's costing the Gambia at least $1 million. $1 million is
How,
because
how do they propagate
no,
that?
no, hold on. I'll come to that. $1 million is because the budget was not approved on time, and IOC has deadlines, Olympic solidarity. So because of the timing, we have to send back money that was not used within a quadrennial period.
How
There
much
was
was that?
it cost about $1 million that could have gone to associations, but because of the budget was not approved in December, we came back in March. We came back, I think it was in May, just before
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Uh,
That's when we approved it. So we didn't have enough time to even disburse the funds based on Olympic solidarity rules and regulations. So we have to send that money back.
well, didn't I think the stakeholders at some point when the agenda wasn't passed, they went to a voting process, 23 by 18. 23 said yes, we should, move on. We should stop the agenda. 18 said no. So some of the things that were supposed to be edited in the agenda wasn't. That brought back and forth. Now you are telling us there was a political agenda in play. That's why the resistance was.
Well, I can assure you, it's after the effect that the point that I realized that this thing was driven by a political agenda because there was supposed to be a presentation by hockey, and they did not want hockey to come in because they felt that if hockey comes in, there will be two extra votes during the AGM, and they probably thought that hockey would not vote for them or would not be on their side. That's the straightforward answer.
Interesting. So you were nominated by seven non-Olympic sports, right?
I was nominated by 7 Olympic sports, not
Mm.
non-Olympic,
Yeah,
Olympic sports.
Olympic sports, and but do you have any doubt when your association, that is karate, didn't nominate you?
No, I think the nomination is not critical to a certain extent. What is critical is your agenda that you're selling to everybody. Today, we've been going around meeting all the associations that have nominated or did not nominate us because nomination does not reflect voting.
I understand. Yeah.
Yes. So to me, that is a
But
non-starter.
isn't that self-defeating when your own association did not
I,
nominate you?
I'm probably one of the most confident people running for presidency at that level, and I think I'm going to win. And karate is going to vote for me.
But they did not nominate you.
It doesn't matter, Mr. Fadera. They're going to vote for me.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So let's talk about King Koli, because I asked the team by Dudu. King is in their camp nominated. You nominated King as also in the camp. So I I'm in a dilemma to understand how is he nominated in both camps. Where does he belong?
Well, maybe we can invite King Koli, but I think we really value and respect King Koli's experience. That's why we added him as our first vice president. A lot of people might know him as traffic commissioner for
Yeah,
police,
yeah.
but King has been involved in sports.
Very well.
He was one time chair of the National Sports Council.
Hmm.
He's been involved in football at GFF or GFA level at those times. He's been involved in sports in terms of Birkama, and he has supported a lot of associations. So people come
He's
and
the
ask him,
president of handball.
well, I'll
In fact,
come to
just
that.
last week I covered one of their events. When they have an international friendly with Guinea Bissau.
Yeah, I'm actually going to come that he's also the president of handball. So a lot of people ask me that, look, why are you getting a police there? Do you want security? I said, no, it has nothing to do with security. I think he has a lot of experience in terms of grassroots sports. And that's part of our agenda to make sure that sports goes all the way to grassroots. So that's why we nominated King Koli. So he's going to stand unopposed, which will be a great thing for our team, because we're going to be winning this
Is
elections.
handball going to vote for you?
Definitely they'll vote for me. We're going to be the winning team. Probably even volleyball will vote for me.
Do you have any question regarding this? Because it's
You're missing that point for there. I said probably even volleyball, but Dudu would vote for me because I have the winning team.
oh,
I have a better agenda. I'm a better leader. Our team is a better team than their team.
interesting.
Yes, before we go, just a quick one. Why do you think you are the right candidate to lead the GNOC?
The GNOC today is not only about sports.
Mhm.
Sport is global. Sport is entrepreneurship. Sport is economic. Sport is business.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of team we put there. When you see a leader, for them to be successful, it's not about them.
Mhm.
It's about the team that supports them. And we think that we have a much better team that would fit all those criteria compared to Baidudu and his team. Baidudu is a great person, but I don't think he has the right team.
How do you think that your team is the right team?
We're far better, and we're going to deliver better results. We're going to win these elections, and we're going to transform the way sports is done in this country. Baro.
During his tenure, I mean, as volleyball president and presidented success story register, I mean, now he's looking for the GNOC office, and you think he's still not having the right team? He's not a good president?
I think he did very well in volleyball, but we're talking about global sports, not only volleyball. We're talking about over 28 different sports, 28 different demands, 28 different pressures. How do you raise money? How do you build the capacity? How do you build the international partnership? Those relationships are things that we in our team that we have.
Is it because you are more business oriented?
Sports is business.
Business is sports.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Thank you.
so that's interesting. Before we go, finally, Sample, I know the election will be interesting. What more do you want to add regarding the team? The team president yeah, is a very interesting team, though.
Yeah, I just what I wanted us to focus and what I have been trying to say here is we need to take sports management to the next level, and that is to focus on the program that is being presented, and not. I mean, leadership. Obviously, the individuals matter, but it's a package.
Yeah.
You need the right character as well as the right program.
Well, some have the assumption that Beatrice leadership was only few people that were running the affairs. It wasn't a team.
I think we need to divorce our campaign from somebody else's tenure. we are new executive.
Yeah, but
coming-
it can be divorced. But like I asked the Secretary General yesterday when he was here at Europe,
yeah,
that when the GNOC fails, all of them fail. He said no. He made his stance very clear.
yeah,
By
Then he should have resigned.
this guy, I asked him that question, but he said when he resigned, meaning he's not going to know things that are done at the GNOC, and of course he has a clear picture and idea. Now, I because the same things goes to, because he's the treasurer,
yes,
and if the GNOC is successful, they all take it. If
yeah,
they fail, they're all part of the problem.
yeah.
Now you are saying it can be divorced, but how would we divorce when this guy is looking for the presidency and he was the treasurer? So that's
Yeah.
why it has a
No,
connection. So
yeah, the connection is because the GNOC did not fail. That's what we need to understand. It's a perception you have, which I think you are entitled.
not me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a question.
whoever.
Yeah.
We all have our opinion.
Yeah.
What we are entitled to is our opinion, but not facts.
Mm.
We all have to share the facts. The GNOC did not fail.
Mm.
If you look at all the metrics,
Mhm.
attendance in